Hello and welcome to the Zonald Bazin channel where it's so good, it must be fantasy. Today's video is on my round 1 team selection. Starting with the number 1 defender spot, we've got Harry Sheezel. My two main reasons for picking Sheezel are that North Melbourne rank quite well in my fixture analysis. They've got the 5th easiest defender draw for the season, and he's very highly owned, and given he's likely to be in the top few scoring defenders come season's end, he's someone I don't want to be in the minority of not having. The other alternatives I considered were McKercher, same team but it allows me to invest funds elsewhere, and Nick Martin, who I think is someone who could finish in the top few scoring defenders for the season, while Essendon rank as having the easiest fixture for defenders in my fixture analysis. On to my second defender, and it's Trent Rivers, the defender turned midfielder, whose output increased by 12 points per game when he moved there last season. Aside from his increased output, he looks to be continuing in that position this season. The Demons also rank as having the second easiest fixture for defenders in my analysis. The other alternative for this position was Liam Duggan, who in a similar vein looks to be making the move into midfield this season. However, West Coast do have the 7th hardest fixture for defenders. Jaden Short is my third defender, who appears to have regained his prominent halfback role permanently. The Tigers do have only the equal 8th easiest defensive fixture. However, it seemed like a better option than the alternatives, which for me were McGrath, Hinge and Blakely. On to Lockie Ash, who I actually had selected prior to the Collingwood fixture in round 0, so his performance was very reassuring for this pick. Most of Ash's scoring did come after Whitfield cramped up in the game, and his involvement became limited. However, given the amount of times Whitfield gets tagged by the opposition, it looks like Ash will be the second rebound defender after Cummins and Perriman's exit. The other reason for a GWS mid-price defender was that they have the 3rd easiest defensive fixture in the short term. The other option I considered here was Lockie Whitfield if I wanted to go for a more assured premium from the same team. For defender number 5, it's Logan Evans. I wanted to have a Port Adelaide defender because they are ranked as having the easiest defensive fixture in the short term, so it's Evans versus Farrell for me. My last starting defender is Sam De Koning. He's a very popular selection. The ruck role really interests me, and to state the obvious, there's a lot of opportunity for high scoring. The Cats also have a very friendly defensive fixture in both the short and long term, so I want to have some sort of Cats defender, whether that was Humphreys, De Koning, Stewart or Holmes. McGrath's another option I did consider. Short and sharp with the rookies on the bench. First up is Leake. GWS do have a very easy fixture for defenders, they're 3rd in the short term. Other options were Zach Reid or Trainer. And to complete the defence we have Allen. Eagles are also 3rd easiest defensive fixture in the short term. Again, the alternatives were Reid and Trainer. And there's my defence. I have stacked up quite a lot because I don't love the cheaper options available. However, there does appear to be more that are now in frame for round 1. On to the midfielders, and we've got Will Ashcroft. He's got a relatively easy fixture for the season. However, he does have a very easy short-term fixture. And given that he's sort of in that range where he's sitting between a premium and a mid-pricer, he's perfect. He's fully recovered from his injury now. There's likely to be some natural improvement in scoring, and Neil usually cops the tag, so I preferred him to the other options I considered, which were Dunkley, Merritt and Sarong. Next up is Clayton Oliver, who's another highly owned asset I feel like I have to have in my team, particularly because he seems like he has fully recovered from his troubles and injury last year. Plus he's got the return of Petrarca, which is likely to mean the tags are split up between the two. The other options I considered instead of Clayton were Sartis, Cumming and O'Driscoll. Midfield number 3 is Callaghan. He's someone I actually didn't have before the round 0 game. Given his performance, his increased role, Tom Green's injury and Cornelio seems to have had a role change, plus GWS do have quite an easy midfield fixture in the short term, he's going to be a good pick I reckon. Next up is Doherty, another returnee from injury. Also appears like he'll return to his half-back role with Newman out injured. Colton is also another one with a very easy midfield fixture in the short term. And on to another one who round 0 has probably fooled me into buying, Will Day. Returned from injury and has a greater midfield role. Plus, they've also got a relatively easy fixture in the short term. I considered Sarong, Dunkley, Brayshaw and Merritt here as well. Since I've mainly selected just plain rookies, we're going to move through them very quickly. We'll start with O'Sullivan. Leyland Draper are alternatives to all of these rookies I've selected. We've got Ashcroft. Again, the Lions actually have the easiest midfield fixture in the short term. Along with the Lions, Freo also have the equal easiest midfield fixture in the short term, so I've selected Murphy Reid. Langford's next up, and he doesn't have the easiest fixture, but being a Demons fan, I know he's got a lot of job security as a midfielder/forward. And lastly, it's Camporelli, who has a fairly easy fixture in the short term and has been confirmed as playing in round 1. And there's my midfield. It's very light on. Even Will Ashcroft's borderline premium does allow me to invest in other areas, but I feel like there's a lot of scoring potential there and room for price increases. Onto the rucks, and we'll start with a very obvious one in Cherry. North actually had the 4th easiest ruck fixture for the season. The other alternatives I looked at were Sweet, Marshall and Reedy. Again, they all have easy fixtures for the season. Wow, I'm so original with my ruck choices. Next up's De Koning. Colton actually do have the 4th hardest ruck fixture for the season. However, with his scoring when he's the sole ruckman, and now that Pitnett's injured, he's a must for me. And to triple up on being obvious, it's Boyd. Saints do actually have the 3rd easiest ruck fixture in the short term too. He's potentially going to play, but Marshall looks likely for round 1, so it just depends if they're going to play 2 ruckmen or not. And there's the rucks, not much more to say with that one. I did consider Reedy as a mid-pricer, but his performance in pre-season didn't impress me, so he's not in. And on from the very obvious in the ruck to another unique line, the forward line, where all but one of my players are more than 40% owned. First up, it's Horn Francis. Port have a very easy forward fixture for the season, so he's a very obvious pick for me and everyone else. And my only semi-unique pick in Rankin, the combination of his friendly fixture plus increased midfield role means with the extra funds I had available, I went with him. Baker was the alternative here. Jack McRae, not much to say, eh? He's got an increased midfield role on the Saints now, so he becomes an easy pick. No, not so funny one-liner for Smith, but he is back from injury, he's underpriced. Geelong do have a decently hard forward fixture in the short term. Gold Coast have a better one, so Humphrey is my other option here. Just like Smith and McRae Daniels on a new team, he appears to have that free scoring half-back role. He's underpriced. North do have a hard fixture in the short term too, so Humphreys there is a better option fixture-wise. And quickly through the rookies once again, they all appear to be playing rookies for at least round 1. We've got Davidson first up. Next up is Keiko, decently hard fixture in the short term for Eston. And last up is Stone, who played decently well in round 0. GWS are ranked as having the easiest forward fixture in the short term as well. My utility is currently Boxshall, as long as he gets named in round 1. All the other alternatives are just rookies I've mentioned before. And that's my forward line. Probably about 50% of the player base as well, but I've got the extra premium in Rankin, whereas most people probably have the extra premium to me in their midfield. And that's my team. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of my team in the comments, and how's your team going?